This is the problem with the video game industry right here. I like to call it dataism. Is the opposite of creativity. Creativity is when someone has a nice idea for a video game that's something they would like to play, and then they try to create that. You know, it's what made the video gaming industry what it is today. Dataism is the opposite of that. You have like some wine ounce in a marketing room, and they're looking like what is popular right now, and let's just do that. So what is popular right now? Well, superhero video games, right? Because Spider-Man 3 exists, so like, why don't we have a spin-off and we make it with Wolverine? And what is popular in video gaming? I know crafting. Like, crafting is popular. You see it everywhere, right? What else? Leveling up. Like you play a little bit, you level up, you unlock some new powers. Right? So you end up with almost the same video game that's a fucking reskin. I mean, I looked at the Wolverine leaks, which unfortunately I can't show them here due to copyright issues, but it does look like Batman Arkham Asylum. I'm not going to lie. It looks like some Gotham Knight shit where you're Wolverine and you're sneaking around and you can craft fucking smoke bombs and medkits. Right? It's literally like the Arkham Asylum type of game, but with a Wolverine reskin. And of course, the story has to be cancer as well. Like, the story needs to be outsourced and sanitized. And I understand that there may even be a bait and switch. Like, you may not even play with Wolverine the whole game. You might play with that black lady actress that you see everywhere. I don't even know her name. But it's like literally everything that people find in Western gaming now. Bland, soulless, with zero creativity, and a little bit of an outrage story to go forward. It's like a little bit of bait and switch just to get some people outraged. It's like, oh my god, they replaced Wolverine with a black woman. Assuming that's even happening, because at this point in time, I don't know that many details about the story. I just saw the gameplay. But what's interesting is that you have like certain people online. I don't even know how to call them, because like I guess like they're antis or tourists or whatever. But they have like this constant argument that they reuse over and over and over to the point where it's super saturated and boring. It's like, well, the game isn't out yet. How the fuck do you know? You know, the game is just in beta. Like, maybe they will change everything, right? Like maybe at this point, after they invested so many resources in getting the game to this point, that they will just change everything, right? Like, they will change all the gameplay mechanics, they will change all the fucking source code, they will change all the assets, and make it into something that we like. How delusional do you have to be? Like, unironically, right? Because there were people saying, it's like, well, how do you know that it has medkits? Like, just because, you know, maybe it's just like placeholder text. Like, this isn't even coping. It's just being trolling, isn't it? Like, you're just saying stuff to piss people off. I wouldn't even call it gaslighting. I don't know what it's called. But it certainly is antagonistic. And a lot of people are getting bored with this. Again, my perfect example is if you wake up during the middle of the night and you see me on your kitchen table, crouched, with my pants taken down, and you're like, V, what are you doing? Why are you taking a shit on my table? And I would be like, how do you know it's shit? It isn't out yet. Right? Like it's this level of being disingenuous. Like how would you know? No, yeah, because we haven't seen what happened in the past. And we can't assume that if it happened in the past so many times and it follows the exact same pattern, then it's probably going to happen again. And you know, like, this is done by people who do not like the franchise. Like, they do not look at Wolverine as a character with lore attached to it, with a certain in-theme universe. No, they're looking at it through the perspective of, like, an assembly line. And, well, you know, Batman sold, so if we just put the Batman with the Wolverine skin and we have the exact same game, then that's going to sell as well. And then, the people that don't like the game is because they suffer for bigotrismus on the keyboard, racismus on the keyboard. They just don't like the fact that we casted a black actress. That's it, okay? So use that excuse to deflect against any type of legit criticism that we might have. And by the way, put a $70 price on the game. Make it online only as a service. And if you can, like just if you can, use AI in order to harvest everything that players say and do during the game so that we can sell that as well to third parties. That's the state of the gaming industry now. This is literally it. I would call it the dark age of entertainment because I genuinely do not see myself playing any of the games that came out in the last 5 years. I do not see myself, like right now, I'm replaying Neverwinter Nights. But I don't see myself in 20 years replaying many of the games that came out during the last 5 years. There may be a couple though. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't play anything. But the reality is like, they're not made by people that care about the product. And you know, like many people will say, well, yeah, but it's a big team, it's a big studio. Why do they have to be? Why do they have to be big teams and big studios to make these games? Is what I don't understand. Like, you do not need 10 winehounds to supervise every single guy that is coding. You do not need to outsource your story. Like, what happened with people that were just passionate about a story? Like, the idea that the market will not accept your story is the most dumb thing ever. I mean, you look at the weird shit that's coming from Japan and from the indie game market, like the Coffin of Andy and Lele, that would never be approved by an HR lady. And yet, a video game that barely costed probably $20,000 to make managed to rake in $2 million worth of profits. And that game has the story alone that's pushing it. But no, we're not going to get that, right? Because the game, unfortunately, the industry, unfortunately, is dominated by some big corporations that do not have an interest in listening to what the consumer wants. They listen to Dataism. It's like what their marketing people tell them. And they're like, okay, well, if it makes sense for that game, then it sure makes sense for this one. I mean, maybe that makes sense for products, like a car or a piece of hardware, you know, a graphics card or something. Like, maybe it makes sense for those. But when you're talking about art, it can't be like, oh, well, Mona Lisa was popular, so let's just redraw that. Let's just redraw Mona Lisa, but I don't know, make her Asian. And if people don't like it as much as they like the original Mona Lisa, call them racist. That's pretty much how the entertainment is nowadays, isn't it? Yeah, so you got medkits in a video game with Wolverine. My favorite argument was like, maybe the medkits aren't for Wolverine himself. Like, yeah, sure, of course. I mean, the level of copeness is astonishing. And usually these people, when it turns out that they were wrong, they don't appear to apologize. Funny how that is. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe if you liked the video.